to share with you my favorite way of finishing an icon. As you know, I don't use linseed oil anymore because it yellows with age, and it doesn't dry very well either if you live in a humid area like I do. So I'm going to show you today, I have a two-part way of finishing my icons, and this is an icon that I painted quite a long time ago, at least 6 months or more, and it's ready now to be finished. So I know that it's ready, and that's an important part, is to give it at least a few months to completely harden, for all the egg tempera to harden in your icon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with walnut oil. So let me read you a little bit of what it says about the walnut oil, and you'll see why I choose walnut oil. This one is produced by the mature seeds of a walnut tree by cold-pressed extraction and then refined. It's characterized by excellent pigment binding capacity and relatively fast drying properties. Non-yellowing, it remains with brilliance of color and improves the gloss and fluidity of the paint. So I like to have an oil. I did love the linseed oil until I had those problems with it, but I like oil because it sinks in to all the layers and it allows the layers to deepen. That's a beautiful process I don't want to miss out on. But I also don't like having it layered, get yellowed with age. So I'm just going to take some of this walnut oil and put it in my dish here to make it easy to access. And then I've made sure that there's no dust on my icon. And I have a brush which is fairly smooth and soft. And I'm just going to carefully apply it. So you can see how it deepens. I think you can see it in this, coming over and doing the sides and the top. I'm going right over the gold leaf, right over the face. Everything gets covered. I try not to let it build up too much. You don't want to have it building up, so I can just, if it starts to do that, I can just move it straight down. Let's see if we can see the difference. I can see the difference, and if I hold it in a glancing light, I can see that there's some buildup right here, so I'm going to move it down. Just take it in. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And pull it down. And now if I hold it at a glancing angle here, I can see that there isn't any more buildup up here. So I can let that be. I'm just going to move it up so you can see me do the bottom part. But as I put it on, I can see the layers deepening. And that is what I have been missing by not having the linseed oil, which is the traditional way of finishing the icon, but I have just had so many problems with it. I can't use it anymore. And I really work hard to get my color and my light correct in the icon when I'm painting. So the idea of it yellowing with the age is not something that I would like to happen. So I'm trying to really smooth it out as best I can. So you could just do this. And sometimes I would do that. But I'm going to show you that I also use a light wax finish as well. But I can't do that immediately until this is completely dry. This has to be completely dry. As this, I'll say it one more time. If you're going to apply wax, this has to be completely dry. That means I would give it a few days just to be sure. It does dry to the touch quickly, but before putting another layer on here, I would make sure that it's totally dry. Sometimes, you know, things might feel dry to the touch, but they're not chemically dry. That happens a lot with linseed oil, I know. Holding this at an angle, and I can see right here, it needed a little bit more. There's sometimes in certain pigments, it sinks in better than other pigments. So fortunately, there's enough time. This isn't going to dry in 5 minutes, you know, so I have time to keep looking at it and seeing if it needs anything extra. You know, it might be that I might want to give it a second coat after this dries. That's a possibility. If I gave this a second coat, I probably would not wax the surface. But you can experiment, of course, and see what works for you. That's what I recommend. It's taken me a long, long time. I would say, honestly, years of research and experimenting to come up with this way of finishing that I'm happy with. I've tried so many things. I have so many things on my shelf that I used and did not work out. I guess I need to go to some artist group and give all those things away. I have to clean out my studio. There's too much here. So I'm just doing this sides here with the oil as well, just so that it has a nice finished look. And I did all the sides. Just going to take one more look at the surface here. I can see right here there's kind of a buildup. And let me see, right? So it seems that this blue part dries really quickly. The blue pigment, blue and green. So we will see how that goes. But I definitely want it all to sink in. Yeah, it's quite, you can see there's quite a nice sheen to it now too. And you might be able to see how deeper the colors are. I just love it. I love it. I'm really happy with this. Sometimes I wouldn't put the wax on. If I'm really happy with this, I would just let it be. So, and you can just, I'll do it, you know what, I'll do a separate demonstration on the wax on a different icon as well. If this one is good just the way it is. But so far, I really love it. Okay, so this is the way to do it. I will post a photograph of the walnut oil that I got. I got this on Amazon, and this is artist grade oil painting medium. It says here, and wood preserver. So, don't just go to the supermarket and get walnut oil. I mean, it sounds funny that I would say that, but I do know people who do that, and it's not really what we want. We want artist grade walnut oil. Okay, well, I'm sharing all these great things with you. I hope it helps you. I know in classes we don't have time to do the finishing, but that's why I wanted to do these videos, to give you help with that. All right, God bless you, and talk to you soon. Bye.